I've been doing research, my people. Research gotta be done, have to be done. You see me, as my people. Yes, sir, that would depend. Glory be to the Most High. You understand? And we want to start with a number. It's 1750. Never forget it. It is 1750. Yeah, 1750. So we're gonna keep doing like loads of updates on the 1750. The year 1750 is significant for I and I. Yeah. So, the end of the day, always did love Rasta just because of research and they really care about the black culture. And usually, when I was a small kid, you talk to a Rasta man now, he could tell you about black culture, whether you come from Trinidad, Barbados, whether you come from St. Vincent, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Croix. Oh, there's so much islands to name people, but you know what I mean? If I miss you, big on up same way, but straight. Really want you to remember 1750, this transatlantic slavery, because what we really see going on in America, with all the atrocities with black people all over Caribbean, South America with black people, this all began when we were stolen from Africa and taken as slaves, captured, tortured, beaten, humiliated, destroyed, disenfranchised, all of the above. You understand? So I really want people to get used to the number 1750. And I have a friend who's a numerologist. They study number. And when I see her again, I will ask her to also break this down for us. Because we have to really, really get into this. And then we begin it with, what have to do with Jamaica and St. Kitts and Barbados, because England colonized those islands in like 1623, 1627. And so let's go in order. St. Kitts and Barbados in 1623 and 1627. So that was a similar conquest in 1623 and 1627. And then Jamaica later on in 1655. All those numbers are significant. So let's go over it. 1750, transatlantic slave trade. And then you have like in 1623, you have Barbados and St. Kitts to 1627 being colonized by England. And the first Jamaicans were Taino. The Taino people, they settled in Jamaica around 600 AD. So the Taino people, what they like to call the Arawak Indian, yeah, settled in Jamaica in 16 AD. So we need to know where we are to understand what we're doing and where we're from to know where we're going. So the Spanish introduced the first African slaves to the island into the 17th century. And this is after the time when the Taino died out. So the Taino people are the first ones to see Christopher Columbus when he come to Jamaica. But because of all the sickness and the disease that the Europeans had, traveling on the boat, not bathing, not keeping clean, plus the sickness that they brought from Europe that the native Jamaicans weren't used to, which were the Taino people, and they talk Arawakans. That's the language that they spoke. But when I was younger, as a younger child going to school in Jamaica, they said the original inhabitants were Arawak Indians, which is kind of like a misinformation. Misinformation. So we have to correct that also. So over the period of the transatlantic slave trade, according to them, which we as the stolen ones called the massacre or the Black Holocaust, from approximately 1526, to 1867, some 12.5 million. So if they say 12.5 million, it could be way more that was captured. And they were put on ships. Women, also women, men, women, and children were put on ships, okay? So there was like 10.7 million who arrived in the Americas. So they say they take 12.5 and then 1.7 million arrived. So a lot of people died on the journey. That's what that show. So yes, guys, there's a lot of reasoning to have around this, and I feel like this is a part of what the Rastafari community have to do at the moment. And not even only that, the Rastafari always been proud Africans, even in the time when in the Caribbean, when it was not fashion, it was not fashion to wear locks, where it was really a matter of life and death. When you wanted to follow your African roots, and people like Alexander Bustamante, which is like a Jamaican political leader, sentiment was to everyone with locks either bring them to the prison or bring them to Bogill, and Bogill is like a cemetery, and so on and so forth. So they did not want a lot of Africans in the Caribbean diaspora and America and stuff like that to be proud, because it even lead back to Marcus Garvey into the 20s, when he was trying to do some Pan-Africanism, self-reliant, self-sufficient, self-reliant and all of that. And African nations, he had an idea of where African nations would trade together. And then, because if we showed unity by trading together, then others would want to trade with us also. But what I want you guys to also remember here is this number is really significant, is 1750. This is the first update on 1750. I hope to put these episodes in like shorts, like what I'm doing now. So maybe like 10 minutes long each, and maybe do 5 or 6 of them and see if you people want more. But in 1750, the transatlantic slavery thing was at its zenith, at its peak. And then we know that the Spaniards are the first ones to colonize Jamaica. So at the end of the day, we see that in modern day now, we have to see that Barbados, St. Kitts, Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, all these places, St. Vincent, everywhere, we have to realize that we were divided and spread across the Caribbean to divide us, so we would never come back together again. Because what you have to notice is that all people in the Caribbean share some bloodline. So if you can separate us by calling one person, oh, you're from St. Kitts, or you are from St. Croix, or you're from St. Lucia, or you're from Jamaica, or you're from Barbados, and make us think that we're so different, like we didn't come from the same place, we would never ever come back together again. That's what I call some serious white magic. They change our religion, they change our speech, and so we could never come back together again. This is why the the government officials saw Rastafari as a threat. But this is where I leave it in part 1, and we'll pick up at part 2. So please leave your comments. Please drop some questions about what else do you feel like I should cover in the next topic that could be added that I may have missed out in the first one. But anyway, love to you all, and 1750 is a real thing, and this is what we're gonna do. When some people do 420 for when they're gonna have the herb or the burn sacrament, the burning bush, but 1750 is what we're gonna have that sacramento and that burning bush to. So we give thanks and praise always, to the Most High. Been merciful to us, because a lot of cultures got wiped out completely, got wiped out, got depleted, got extinct, like a dodo or something like that, or extinct like dinosaur, a lot of cultures got wiped out because of the diseases and the wars and the stuff that the European colonizers brought with them. So they brought like a curse to us. So at the end of the day, we will study and we'll delve more into it on the next one. But remember to like, share, comment, and all of that for all the people like education, because this is where the channel is going now. This is the direction that I'm taking it.